Welcome to a new episode of BLOC News. My name is Brenda, this is Clarke, and I'm happy to have you back. But first, of course, think outside the block. So in today's news, we got from international to local crime news as well, because a lot of online smugglers are taking advantage of this time to sell antiquities. Yes, now, not only about that, that's the first half of our BLOC news. Then we got a special Peruvian artist, yes, represented by BLOC, of course. His name is Rafael Lanfranco, and he's a genius, literally a genius, who has created more than just a couple of imaginariums with its own language. So don't get me wrong, it's quite fascinating, and we will have him in the second half of this program. So let's start. Now, breaking news, one-way visitor traffic and abandoned audio tours. These are some of the guidelines for reopening museums in Brussels. Yes, some safety measures were reviewed by museums and their ethics organization, CIMAM. So it seems that in a near future, because they're already planning about the guidelines and all of these measures, they want to reopen the museums. Well, that's a very amber light, not already a green light, but it's quite optimistic point of view. Let's see how it goes in Latin America, huh? In local news, we get Bartomeu Marí, Spanish philosopher and former director of Mali Museum. Mali Museum is the Lima Arts Museum, exactly. He just resigned yesterday to his position. Let's remember that he started this new position last July 2019, and this communication was released officially by the museum. The municipality of Lima has released an open call to all artists and creators to send their home video projects, yes, with a 1,200 soles top budget. So this will be, you can send your project until Monday. So if you live in Lima, if you're an artist or a creator, more information you can find it from www.descubrelima.pe www.descubrelima.pe. So send yours until next Monday. In crime news, online antiquity smugglers are taking advantage of the pandemic time. Let's check out some images. The online trade of illicit antiquities seems to be on the rise during the coronavirus crisis. The Antiquities Trafficking and Heritage Anthropology Research (AFAR) project, which investigates and documents the digital underworld of trafficking in looted artifacts, has found an uptick in posts on Facebook groups involved in buying and selling looted objects from the Middle East and North Africa in recent months, as many countries went into lockdown. Last week, thieves looted objects from a mosque near Larache in Morocco, and images of the crime were shared through Facebook groups. Today's artist is Rafael Lanfranco, Peruvian multidisciplinary artist. He's a sculptor and a genius because he creates these imaginariums with his own languages, as I mentioned before. One of those was the Wacos series, but he will explain us more about what he has been doing and working in the last months. Now, don't get me wrong, he has a master's degree in Boston University and even a Fulbright scholarship from the U.S. Department of State. So, as well, has participated in international exhibitions such in Singapore, Tokyo, Miami, and is represented by more than just a couple of galleries. So let's check it out.
Hi all, my name is Rafael Lanfranco and I'm a multidisciplinary artist, and I like working in diverse medium, including illustration, drawing, painting, sculpture, and really as a video, really whatever it takes to make the idea work better and make the concept work much better. A lot of my work is essentially based in the creation of characters, and from those characters What I try to do is to create a universe in which those characters are inhabiting. Usually, the influence from the characters I'm creating have to do with a lot of what I saw and what I've and the context in Peru in which I grew, which was heavily influenced by Asian and American pop culture. Let's talk about anime, manga, Star Wars, cyberpunk, steampunk, and also the reality of Peru at that time. The mind and the mind of the artist, it's always trying to recreate reality according to its own subjective experience, and to recreate and create a new reality. In my personal case, it's about making sense of the time and place in which I am living, and trying to bring an answer or an attempt of an answer to the big question of, what is the purpose of me being here at this moment in time. So you will also see in my work, I think, a huge amount of different elements, which might not necessarily combine harmoniously together, but at the same time, they are looking for an order among the huge information that we're having in our daily lives. You will find text, you will find signs, you will find characters, you will find probably spaceships, you will find reference to pop culture and reference to local Peruvian culture and also to traffic culture, trying to make sense of all of this and create a new reality. As following: if we are immersed in chaos, and chaos is such a huge possibility of things, why don't we take this traffic that we're living in, this chaos we're living in, and try to make something more, try to create art or give order, from a sense of order from this chaos, which is what I think is one of the main purposes of human life from a point of view, is how do we bring order to our chaotic lives? And also from a socially point of view, in a country so diverse and so multicultural as Peru is, how do we bring order to this huge influx of different aspects of culture? If you think about current Peruvian situation, and this could be very related to South American and emerging countries situations or contexts or actual situations, we could think of chaos, and chaos is usually related into a very negative way. However, mythologically and psychologically, chaos is also what we could think of the source of everything, infinite possibility. So if you think of chaos in a country such as Peru, and essentially in a city such as Lima, we're thinking of traffic, for instance. My work is heavily influenced by storytelling. And a lot of what I do has to do with stories, or the archetypical stories that are deeply, with which I connect very, very deeply. One of them, for instance, is the hero's journey. And then, as I've been researching more into my work, stories are actually or turning into a sort of metaphor for the cognitive mechanisms that we have to cope with reality. And that's what I'm trying also to express with some of my work.
Very important what Rafa just shared to us. I really, really dig that. Finding order into the chaos. Truly believe that. Absolutely. Plus, a lot of foreign stories or expats as well living here, they find Lima's traffic super chaotic. Two things. That's why I use Lima and New York City as well, them both as chaotically beautiful cities. Plus, no one thought that during quiet time, Lima's traffic would just disappear. No one thought about that, and it's possible because we can do it. Yes. Well, guys, that's all for today's episode, and I really hope that you enjoy this. And reminder, of course, keep safe, be skeptic, question everything, and what else? Think outside the block.